Hello, friends. Happy Thursday. Welcome to today's version of Exercise Exos. Oh my gosh, exercise with Exos. I brought a whole word in there. Jeez, Jazzy. But anyways, welcome. Super excited for today. And before I get started with the workout, I want everyone to guess what we're spelling today. Luis, you cannot guess because you know, but someone in there, drop in the chat, guess what word we're spelling today. And while we're making our guesses, I also want you guys to tell me what either your favorite or your least favorite dish on Thanksgiving is. You can, one of the two, just drop that in the chat. I will share mine. I do not like cranberry sauce. I think it's the worst thing on the table. Will not eat it ever. No, I've had it obviously because that's why I know I don't like it, but do not like cranberry sauce at all. So, no one has any guesses for me today? What are we spelling? Anyone? -1 on the, yep, exact, no cranberry. It's just so gross. Sugary sweet potatoes. I feel you on that, Joan. Even though the marshmallows on top of the sweet potatoes are usually really good. Ooh, scalloped potatoes are also good. All right, so no one has guessed. Luis likes everything. You really can't go wrong. Okay, so no guesses on what we're spelling today, but we're spelling cranberry. So it's funny because I hate cranberry sauce. That's what we're spelling today. So I will go through everything and then we'll go ahead and get started. So we are going to do 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest for each exercise. We're going to go through 2 times today because cranberry is a pretty long word. So we don't have that much time for class. But we're going to start off with curtsy lunges. So that's our C today. So we're going to do curtsy lunges. So we're going to alternate between legs. So you're going to step diagonally and back. Squat down, hips forward, stand up, alternate to the other side. Again, hips forward, knee is going out past that second, third toe, squeeze glutes, stand back up. So that's C. And then for R, we're going to do rotational crunches, aka bicycle crunches. So we're going to be on the ground and knees are up at 90-degree angle and we're going to extend one leg, crunch up, touch knee to elbow, back, knee to elbow, and back. So we're just going to be cycling through our bicycle crunches, aka rotational crunches. And then for our A, we're going to do an A hold. So what that is we're going to have our knees slightly bent, pushing our hips back, chest towards the ground. Arms are in front of us. We're going to squeeze those shoulders and we're making an A. So you can't really see from that angle, but our arms are kind of come out like this. We're just going to hold here. So we're going to squeeze, holding in an A position, arms back. Okay, we should start to feel that in the backs of our shoulders and a little bit in our lats. So we're going to work our back a little bit more today. And then for an N, we're going to do narrow squats. So feet are going to be closer than hip width, squatting down, squeeze the glutes, come back up. You are going to feel this more in the quads. So from this angle, the knees are still tracking past the second toe. Glutes are going to be coming down, squeezing, and come back up. So those are the narrow squats. And then for B, everyone's favorite, we're going to do burpees. And if you're not comfortable jumping today, or if you are not in the position to be jumping, aka if you have neighbors below you, you can go ahead and either do marches. So you're either going to be marching, or you can do a burpee without a jump. So then you just put your hands on the ground and walk your legs out, back up, and then stand back up. So those are your alternates to burpees. And then for the E, we're going to be doing plank, knee to opposite elbow. So going to be in a plank position, hands on the ground, bringing each knee, tapping on each elbow. So that's E. And then for both of our R's, we're doing reverse lunges. So the first R, you can do whichever leg you would like. So you can start with one side, just going back all the way, all of them on one leg. And then for the next set, we'll do all in the other leg. So those are the R's today, our reverse lunges. And then for the Y, we're going to do the same thing as we did for the A, but we're going to hold the Y position. So same thing, knees bent, butt back, arms in a Y position. So from that angle, you'll look like this. Again, squeezing through the back. So we're working more back and shoulders in the A and the Y positions. So that is what's on the schedule for today. Again, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. And also big thank you to Luis for putting the workout in the chat for us today. So if you don't know where we are, want to see what's coming up next, I will be reminding you, but that is also all in the chat to use at your disposal throughout the workout. All right, gonna start with our warm up. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start off with hip flexor, hamstring, and then we'll do world's greatest. Okay, so we're gonna be half kneeling, so one knee on the ground, other foot is going to be on the ground, and we're going to tuck our pelvis, push our hips forward, squeeze the glute of the knee that's on the ground, reaching up above head, holding here for a few seconds, and then we're going to rock back into that nice hamstring stretch. So toes in the air, bending forward, feeling that stretch all the way from our ankle through the hamstring. And now we're going to switch back, hip flexor, squeezing the glute, pushing those hips forward, feeling the stretch in the front of our leg, and rocking back into that hamstring stretch. And one more time, hip flexor, squeezing that glute, pelvis forward, reaching up overhead, and back to hamstring. And we're going to move to the other side. So opposite knee on the ground, other foot on the ground, half kneeling, tilting our pelvis, pushing our hips forward, squeezing the glute of the knee that's on the ground, reaching up above head. And going back into hamstring. Great job, you guys. And back into hip flexor, squeezing the glute, reaching overhead. And back into hamstring. Rocking back, toes up, feeling that stretch all the way from our calf through to the glutes here. And we're gonna do one more time. Hips forward, squeeze the glute, reaching up overhead, stretching out that hip flexor, feeling that right in the front of our hip. And back into hamstring. Wonderful. So now we're gonna come up onto the ground on our feet. Starting at the top of our space, we're going to interlace our fingers, grab one of our knees. So I'm grabbing my right knee first, hugging it towards the chest, dropping back into reverse lunge, placing our hands on the inside of our left foot. Left hand rotating up towards the ceiling, opening up, breathing nice and deep, keeping that back leg nice and straight. Placing that hand on the outside of the left foot and pushing up into that hamstring stretch. And bring the right foot next to the left foot and standing on up. Perfect. Now we're going to do the other leg. So interlacing your fingers, grabbing your other leg. So now I'm grabbing my left knee, pulling it towards my chest, and stepping back into a reverse lunge. Hands on the inside of the right leg. Rotating, opening up that right hand towards the ceiling. Gazing past the thumb. Knee is not bent, so back leg is nice and straight. And placing that hand on the right outside of the right foot, pushing up into our hamstring stretch. And bringing our left foot next to our right foot and coming on up. Wonderful. So we're going to go ahead now and get started. If you would like to use any sort of weight today, feel free. You can use dumbbells, you can use a water bottle, you can use a backpack full of weight, whatever you would like, or you can do a body weight, as I will be doing it body weight because I don't need to do any more weights today. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, going through 2 times, starting at the top with our curtsy lunges, starting out with the C, spelling out cranberry. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're stepping behind, we're alternating diagonally, squeezing the glutes. We want to feel this in the glutes more than our quads here today. So we're staying nice and low as we alternate through. We don't want to come up into full extension of our hips here. Keeping that tension on the glutes, making sure hips are pointed directly towards me and the camera. Pretend like you got some headlights. We are now cars and we're blinding the camera with those headlights. Great job, everyone. 3, 2, 1, and take a rest. We got 20 seconds. Up next are rotational crunches, aka bicycle crunches. We're going to be on the ground here. We got about 10 more seconds of rest and then we'll get started. So laying on the ground, going in 3, 2, 1. Hands are above, or not above, they're at our head, at the temples, using our core to bring our elbows to the knees, and also using our core to pull our legs back to that starting position. Great job, you guys. Make sure we're not forgetting to breathe. Also making sure we're using our core, not momentum here. 3, 2, 1. And we're resting for 20 seconds, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be doing our A holds. So from the back, you should be looking like this, squeezing through our rear delts, okay? Going in 3, 2, 1. So feet are shoulder width apart, knees are slightly bent. Honestly, I feel like we look like downhill skiers right now. This is like what they look like. Knees are bent. We have our weight is going to be in the hips here, but we're squeezing the arms. So we're squeezing our shoulders. We want to pretend like we're squeezing our armpits, like you got something you don't want to lose, like some paper or something that you're holding under your arms. You don't want them to fall. So we want to be squeezing the upper back here. But we also want to make sure our core is tight so that our back is nice and flat. So we want to be nice and flat from our head to our butt. 3, 2, 1. Whew. And go ahead and take a rest. Shake out your arms if you need to. Up next, we are doing our narrow stance squat. So our feet are going to be a little bit closer than shoulder width. Just doing regular squats. Again, we are going to feel this more in our quads than anything. 3, 2, 1. We are squatting. So feet are narrower than shoulder width apart. We are squeezing the glutes, squeezing our quads, making sure our core is tight so our back is nice and flat today. We want to make sure if our back is bending, we want to make sure even like our upper back, right? We want to be nice and flat from our head to our glutes again to make sure that we're not assuming load with the low back. So this should be all from the quads and the glutes here today. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Okay. 20 seconds, and then we're doing our burpees. So again, if you're not comfortable jumping, you can march, or you can just put your hands on the ground, walk your legs out, and then stand back up. 3, 2, 1. We're doing burpees. We want to make sure that when we are landing on our feet, if we're jumping here, we are nice and light on our feet, and our whole foot is landing on the ground. We want to make sure that our weight is not on our toes, because that will put some pressure on our knees. And we don't want that. We want to protect our joints here. Whole hand is on the ground, pushing the ground away from us as we jump up. Great job, you guys. We're almost there. We're only doing this twice today. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Up next, plank, knee to opposite elbow. So we're going to be on the ground for that. We got 10 more seconds. Ooh, deep breaths. Going in 3, 2, 1. So we're in that tall plank position. Bringing each knee to the opposite side elbow. Helps if you exhale as you bring your knee up to make sure that our core is engaged today. Want to make sure our butt is down, back is flat, including those shoulder blades. So pulling those shoulder blades down and back. We don't want to see any winging of our scapula today. 3, 2, 1. And we're resting. We're getting ready for reverse lunges. So starting with one leg, doing all 40 seconds on one leg, And then for our other R is our other. Going in 3, 2, 1. So whichever leg you want to start with, that's what leg we're going to do this whole time. So we're stepping back, squeezing the glutes of that front leg, pushing the ground away from us. Heel big toe, little toe. Core is still engaged here to make sure we're staying nice and flat from our head to our glutes. Great job, you guys. Keep pushing through. Push that ground away from you. Knee going past that second toe. 3, 2, 1. And we're resting. And then we're going to do the other leg. Today was a unique workout. We had 3 R's. It's not easy coming up with our workout or our exercises. Okay, other leg. 3, 2, 1, and we're stepping back, pushing the ground away from us. We want that knee to track past our second toe. So when you're looking at it from the front, our knee, we want it to kind of go out a little bit more. With that way, we're engaging our glutes. So when the knee is going out past that second, third toe, that's where that glute engagement is going to really come in. If you were in my class earlier, aka Jet and Joan, first of all, shout out for doing 2 classes today, but also we did a lot of glute stuff earlier. 3, 2, 1, and take a rest. The last thing we're doing are the Y holds. So it'll look like that, like we're doing the YMCA, but we're going to be bent over, holding for 40 seconds. Going in 3, 2, 1. Holding that Y. Oh, there's a C. We could have spelled the majority of YMCA in this whole workout. Oh, we should have done that. C holds. I don't think I've ever heard of that. But that would have been fun. Sorry, guys. Next time we'll spell YMCA the whole time. All right, squeezing through our shoulders. Core is tight. We're keeping all our weight in our glutes here, so we're pushing back. But we're flexing through the back here. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, great job, you guys. That was 1 time through. We got 1 more, and then we'll go ahead and cool down. This is a long one. Cranberry is a pretty long word. All right, we're starting at the top with our curtsy lunges, alternating sides. 3, 2, 1. So we're stepping diagonally behind and back, staying nice and low as we alternate to really keep our glutes engaged here. So not coming up all the way. We want to really hammer in those glutes. So we're pushing the ground away from us. Heel, big toe, little toe. Knee is coming out just like with those reverse lunges, just like with squats. Any lower body pushing movement, that's what we're doing. Letting those knees, come out. Core is nice and tight, back is flat. 3, 2, 1. All right, great job, you guys. 20 more seconds. We're gonna be on the ground for our rotating crunches, aka bicycle crunches. All right, you guys, we are going in 3, 2, 1. So we're rotating through the core, extending each leg, using our core to bring our leg back to that center position. Making sure we are not pulling our head up, our fingertips are just touching our temples. And we are using our core to rotate here. Exhaling as you bring your legs in. If you want to focus more on that lower core, pretend like you got an apple sitting right here, and we're crushing it with our stomach. 3, 2, 1. Taking a rest, and then we're doing our A holds. So again, we're going to look like this. bent over. We're going to squeeze through our rear delts and our lats. So if we squeeze our armpit like we're holding something there, that's 3, 2, 1. That's what we want. So we want to pretend like we've got some papers that we can't let slide through our arms. Knees are slightly bent, feet are shoulder width apart, pushing those glutes back, squeezing our back here. Make sure we're not forgetting to breathe. Chest is just about parallel with the ground, and we are letting our core be nice and tight. So we got nice straight line from our head to our glutes here. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Great job, you guys. Up next at our end, we're doing our narrow squats. Feet are going to be a little bit narrower than shoulder width apart. We're going to feel this in our quads. Yay. 3, 2, 1. Squatting down, squeezing, and coming back to standing. We want to make sure we're still pushing the ground away from us. Heel, big toe, little toe. Knees are still tracking past our second toe. So we're going to have it slightly angled out here. And by squeezing our glutes, we're squeezing the quads. We're getting a nice total leg workout here today. Core is nice and tight. Our back is flat, so our pelvis is tucked. Shoulder blades are crushing a nice orange in between our shoulder blades. 3, 2, 1. All right. Our favorite exercise, the burpee. So again, you can walk your legs out, you can march, you can squat, whatever is most comfortable for you today. That's what I want you to do. 3, 2, 1. So we're landing nice and soft as we jump. Full foot is on the ground, pushing the ground away from us. As we jump, we want to use our legs, not our back here. Great job, you guys. Our last set of burpees today. Good thing Cranberry only has 1 P. Just kidding. We wouldn't do burpees twice. Good job, you guys. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and take a rest. Up next, plank, knee to opposite elbow. 3, 2, 1. I want to make sure our core is tight, our butts are down. Using our core to bring our knees up. We want to refrain from using our hip flexors because that's going to make them really tight. Especially after all those narrow squats we just did. And burpees. Great job, you guys. We're almost there. Keeping our back nice and flat. Exhaling as we come up. 3, 2, 1. Okay. We got 3 more exercises to go, and then we're going to cool down. We got reverse lunges. So we're doing one leg, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll do the other leg. 3, 2, 1. So we're stepping back and behind, pushing the ground away from us. Heel, big toe, little toe. Great job, you guys. Squeezing the glutes. Letting that knee track out. Really getting those glutes engaged here today. Core is nice and tight. Keeping our pelvis tucked. Want a slight bend in the hips. We don't want to be too far over though. We want our chest to be right over the arch of our foot. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. And then we got our other leg coming up. And then we'll do our Y holds. And then we'll cool down. 3, 2, 1. So we're doing our other leg reverse lunges here. Squeezing the glute as we come up. Knee tracking right over our second, third toe. Squeezing the glutes. Again, chest just above the arch of our foot. Our hips are the driver of this movement, our glutes. So we want to make sure we're not letting our pelvis rock back and forth. 3, 2, 1. All right, last rest period. We got our Y holds coming up next. Getting lots of back work in today. And 3, 2, 1. Hips are back, knees are bent. Chest is parallel with the ground. We're squeezing through our shoulders. Thumbs up, making that Y. We are now the village people. Oh, that would have been a nice, a fun Halloween thing, I guess. But that's okay. We're in fall now. So if anyone else has any Thanksgiving themed ideas for next week, because the week after that, we won't have class because it'll be Thanksgiving. So we'll be eating our cranberry sauce, hopefully not. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Great job, you guys. We made it through spelled cranberry. And we're going to go ahead and enter into our cool down. So if you need to get a sip of water, get some water, walk it out a little bit, and then we're going to make our way onto the ground on our hands and our knees. So when we find our comfortable space on our hands and knees, hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips, we're going to do some quadruped rocking, but we're going to do that adductor stretch with it. So one leg is going straight out to the side like a kickstand. We want our hips to be nice and flat here. On that foot, heel, big toe, little toe on the ground. And we're going to rock back, bring our glutes to our heels. And we're going to squeeze and come up to that starting position. So we're going to rock back, hold for a few seconds, squeeze, and come back up. Really feeling that stretch on the inner part of our thigh and our adductors here. And wherever we're at, we're going to go ahead and do one more. And we're going to switch to the other side. So my left leg was first, my right leg is next. Straight out like a kickstand. Heel, big toe, little toe on the ground. Rock it back. Bring glutes to heels. Squeeze that glute of the knee that's on the ground, returning to center. It's really important here to make sure that pinky toe is on the ground. That's how we feel the stretch in our inner thigh here. Starting to slow down our breathing a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and do one more here. Great job. And lastly, we're going to do a quick child's pose here. So still on our hands and our knees, dropping those glutes towards the heels, forehead, chin, or cheek to the ground. We're going to do 3 deep breaths here. So breathing in. And a nice long slow exhale. And one more deep inhale. And a nice long slow exhale. And then we will make our way to either seated or standing, whatever you would like to end with. Great job, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today on today's cranberry exercise for Exos. Love to see you all here. Don't forget, we do have, it was 2 helpings of cranberries, and I do agree with you that that's gross. But great job, you guys. I love to see you in here. I appreciate you guys all working hard with me. Don't forget, we do have one more stretch break today at 2:30 with Luis, last one of the week. And don't forget, we do have a really cool program coming up next week. Announcements to follow, but we are doing a step challenge, so super excited for that. And as always, we are available to do group movement sessions or stretch breaks with you and your team. So feel free to reach out to us. But I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday, and I will see you guys soon.